Hello. It is Monday. This is the Monday edition of Pop and Politics. We are live talking about the latest in hot topics, news, and entertainment. I'm KJ, along with my amazing co-host. We have Crystal Jenkins.
Hey, guys.
And Shelly E. All
Hi,
right,
everybody.
As I always say, join the conversation by leaving a comment on YouTube or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. And don't just comment, subscribe. If you want to listen to us, you can always listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You could also find us on Rumble. Again, we are an independent media. And if you want to support what we do, we appreciate the donations. We appreciate our super chatters. Any amount is appreciated. Guys, this is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that understand we are living in urgent times. And there's a target on our backs because we love freedom. So if you want to stand with us, if you want to make a stand, let's stand together, subscribe, and together we will amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right, ladies, let's set it off. How are you all doing?
We got to get into this.
Yes, we do. This is a perfect show tonight. This is a needed show.
Yes.
Tonight, because we are going to spend the next hour or so, give or take, debunking the lies the left have been telling about former President Donald Trump. This is so, guys, this is a perfect broadcast to send to your liberal friends, to people who are kind of on the line, on the border between Biden and between Trump. They are outright lying. They are lying.
Yes. Yes.
And I have clips. I want to show this information is out here. You just have to research it. You're going to have to research it because they're lying. Mainstream media is lying. The Democrats are lying. Our president is lying.
Yep.
Ladies, I want to get you guys to sound off. Let's set it off tonight. I want to get you guys to sound off on this before we really dig into this story. If you guys don't know, we're talking about the Trump rally that occurred this weekend. And the mainstream media have lost their minds so much so they're lying on President Trump about what he said. First thought, Shelly, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, the left, the L in left stands for lies. That's it. The L stands for lies. And when I first heard the words, of course, all I heard was the clip of Bloodbath, right? I knew that there was much more to the story. And just like when he gave the speech at the rally in Charlottesburg, Virginia, the media, they're going to drive this. They're going to pull out what they want. They're going to pull it out, right? Little pieces and try to put it together back again and make it say what they wanted to say. Why? Because just like in 2015 and 2016, they are afraid. They are very afraid.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I wore this shirt just for all of my friends out there. It's okay to block me. But what you not gonna do is lie. Okay. Like they are literally taking everything that this man said. And they've been doing it, as Shelly stated. They have been doing it. We are not doing this in 2024. Y'all are going to face the truth. And I will make sure I put it on everybody's inbox, on every social media platform, but y'all are not going to do him like the good people on both sides was a lie. The way he said he would just grab some woman by the pussy, that was a lie. All of this was a lie, and we're not doing this, y'all. So you're going to have to block me.
Yeah. And it's important. I mean, not even about Trump. I mean, if you're a Trump supporter, it's important, but it's more important to show the lengths that they are going to lie.
Yes.
So even if you're someone who doesn't believe that the election was stolen, or you don't believe, some of these things that have been, I mean, now it's like the lengths that they're going to lie. You have to second guess this stuff.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
So
I have a new acronym. I have a new acronym. I literally just came up with it sitting here. An acronym for left means they lie about everything for titillation. That's it. Lie about everything for titillation. So that's what the left means, in vernacular or whatever, but they just lie. That is the meaning of their name.
Yeah, but you know what, though? More importantly, we have to have some courageous conservatives. I mean, like, truthfully. Like, and when I say conservatives, I'm careful because a lot of times people who are Democrat are real, true like they have conservative values. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you don't like the man. You don't have to like him, but you have to defend the truth, because if they can do it to him, they can do it to anybody, you guys. Anyone.
Yeah. It's about, and you, that was perfect what you said, Crystal. It is not even about Trump. It's about defending the truth.
Yes.
Where are the people that just love truth?
Yes.
Love facts. Mm-hmm. I mean, even if you don't like Trump,
you don't have to like him.
Name said it has been a great advocate of facts. The attorney, Shelley, help me with this. He's always on Megyn Kelly's.
Dershowitz. Alan Dershowitz.
Alan Dershowitz. He has said constantly he is not a Trump supporter. He does not support Trump, but he understands the law and he understands what they have done as far as these tactics they have gone through to get him in court. It's not right.
No,
right.
It's not right. And I want to acknowledge we do have a super chatter here tonight. Our queen, I think I'm pronouncing it right.
A queen.
A queen.
Super sticker, thank you so much. Thank you. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, so what they're doing, I mean, it's illegal on so many levels, and people don't understand that, like, these are your freedoms, your right. This is your country that you're destroying in the name of hating a man you don't know. Like I tell everybody all the time, like, you've never met this man, but they have made you hate him just based off of their rhetoric. You should really be asking yourselves a question, like, why? Because that's what I had to do. It's like, why do I hate him so much? And then once I realized that, I realized I actually have such an affinity for President Trump, and it was all downhill from then.
Yeah, we're going to get into this. For anyone who doesn't know what's going on, who hasn't heard, former President Donald Trump painted a dark picture. This is according to New York Post. Of the spate of migrants pouring into the U.S. ominously appeared to predict a bloodbath in the auto industry if he is not reelected. During a riff about foreign policy, former President Trump insinuated that some countries have prisons teeming with violent MS-13 Mexican gangs members that they are dumping into the U.S. He says, and I quote, "I will do the same thing if I had prisons that were teeming with MS-13 and all sorts of people, if you call them people. I don't know if you call them people," Trump said during a rally in Dayton, Ohio on Saturday. In some cases, they're not people, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that because the radical left says that's a terrible thing to say. So I want you guys to take a look at what he actually said. Yep. And then we're going to play clips of the media losing their minds over this rally this weekend. So take a look here. This is exactly what he actually said.
Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. If this election isn't won, I'm not sure that you'll ever have another election in this country. Does that make sense? I don't think you're going to have another election in this country. If we don't win this election, I don't think you're going to have another election, or certainly not an election that's meaningful. And we better get out, and I actually say that the date, remember this, November 5th, I believe it's going to be the most important date in the history of our country.
No lie. No lie there.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, he said what he said. Like, I don't understand. Like,
yeah.
What? Well, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. This is some of what they said he said. Listen to this.
And this isn't what our country is about.
Oh, one second.
Praising Hitler, praising the Russians. Honestly, I mean, condemning our soldiers for losing or dying in war or being captured in war. It said, what's wrong with Russia? They defeated Hitler. What about the millions of Americans who risked or gave their lives? What about him saying that soldiers buried in Europe, you didn't want to visit them because they were losers? There's something wrong here. There's something wrong here. So I just say, with all the respect in the world for voters and their right to make their decision.
Look at this.
Oh yeah, they were on fire. It was
reference, you know, he was talking only about the auto industry, and this is one more. It's just bullshit. Let me say that at 6:15 a.m. It's just bullshit.
They are scared.
Stupid. Americans aren't stupid. He was talking about a bloodbath. Sometimes a bloodbath means a bloodbath. And when he finishes by saying, and that's just going to be the least of it, seriously, these people may be stupid. We're not.
No, you're stupid. You are stupid. And they are so desperate that they're running the same gameplay. You would think that they would say, oh, okay, we played this in 2015, 2016. Let's play another game. And or we did it in 2020. Let's play a different game. But the reason why they're playing that game, because it works. Like it works. It has been working.
Right, exactly. Back in 2020, Joe Biden used the word bloodbath. Hell, the whole media was using that. Everybody was using bloodbath. I think Bernie Sanders said something about a bloodbath. The media, the so-called, some of the journalists, they described the election, or if Trump won, as it's going to be a bloodbath, or even if Joe Biden wins, it was going to be a bloodbath because it was just going to be this massive, election and voters coming out. That word is used so much, and it does not mean actual violence. In this context, it doesn't. Not even when President Trump is using it. So again, they lie, and you're right. They've been doing it, and they continue to do it because it works. Why change something if it works?
Yeah. And it's sad that it works. It's sad that it works, and people won't actually look at what he said, do the research, and actually look into what this thing, instead of listening to these pundits just lie.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because what he said was more interesting than the word bloodbath. Right. You guys are not understanding what he's talking about. He's talking about our auto industry. Oh, wow. Do we even have one besides Tesla? Because Detroit has been destroyed. All of these other plants have been destroyed in Texas because nobody except Americans are driving American cars. So he is a businessman. He is trying to revive the auto industry because, whoa, what do you think? It helps Americans. And so he's saying, China, if you keep building with Mexico, mind you, which the irony of this is because we were actually going to build with Mexico. Do you remember we were going to send our trade deal to Mexico?
The free trade agreement.
Yes, but then China was able to offer us a better deal, so we started trading with China. And now China
is building in Mexico.
It's building in Mexico. And so what President Trump is trying to say is, y'all, we have been screwed. We have been playing this game so wrong. Nobody is driving a freaking Chevrolet over in Japan. They're not doing it in China. They're not doing it anywhere. So what he's saying is if he doesn't win and he is not able to control by tariffs, then it is going to be a bloodbath for the auto industry. I don't know how clearer you say that. It's already, the auto industry is on a thread.
Well, it's by design. It's by design. This whole administration is anti-car. And we see it here in Baltimore City, the way that they're pushing from the federal government these fundings and these grants and these laws to try to make it hard for people to drive. This is coming down the pike. This is by design. It's not by just chance. They want to get rid of cars eventually. That's what it is.
Added on to that, the cars, like you said, the auto industry, Crystal. This is ultimately what he's talking about, is bringing jobs back, particularly to the Rust Belt, the auto industry, like you said, the people who these were good paying jobs. They sustained families and communities for decades, right? These so-called blue collar jobs, but they paid well. So not only did they sustain the family, they uplifted the communities that they were in. So there was a tax base. There were reasons for people to move there for the good paying jobs. So he wants to bring these jobs back to America, bring the industry back. So this is ultimately about the economy for Americans.
And they're making it about foolishness. They're making it about hate speech. And all he's trying to say, you guys, is these elites don't care about you. That these countries do not drive our cars. Ukraine does not have, unfortunately, they don't have Fords all up and down the street. They don't. And so all these countries were being used and abused, and no one cares but President Trump.
Right.
Exactly.
And people better wake up, because President Trump and Republicans, conservatives, people on the right have been ringing this alarm before Biden was elected the last 4 years. And now we see the outcome of these leftist policies, these Democrat policies. It's almost kind of like this election should be a time for people to get it right, to change course.
Repent.
We've seen in the last 4 years with the COVID policies, our kids have been torn up in school. The education systems has failed. We realized that these regulations they placed on us were wrong, and the outcomes have been catastrophic. You know, we've seen how the crime rate has increased here in America versus when you compare our crime rate with everywhere else across the world lowered during the pandemic. And now we have skyrocketing crime because of these policies these leftists have put in cities and places all across America. They are leading us to hell.
Yeah.
And people better wake up.
And look, KJ, to your point, to your point, KJ, I'm going to add the race card in here. To your point about how the communities have been destroyed, because the left constantly tells us that there's a connection between poverty and crime, right? And who are the ones who are most affected by unemployment? The Black communities, or the so-called minority communities. So years ago, decades ago, when the Black community had these sustainable, family-sustaining, community-sustaining jobs. I remember down here, my family members used to work at Sparrows Point in Dundalk, in other cities, Pittsburgh, things like that, across the country. They were good paying jobs. They sustain families. So if these jobs come back, then Black communities, Black people will benefit. Again, it's about economics, your economics, your family's economics, the community. If we want to get rid of crime, since the left constantly says that poverty equals crime, then why not bring back the jobs? So that should wipe out 90% of the daggone crime.
Yeah, and not only that, like, then they started talking about the immigrant. Like, you have to care about the people. Like, I hear leftists sometimes talking about, oh, well, the government can't control this, or the government. Like, why else would we have a government if they are not controlling, like you said, crime, jobs, and keeping order? You are allowing people to come into our country. Let's say that they were all well behaved. Let's say no immigrant or no illegal. Illegal immigrant came across and did any crime. If you heard, you guys, that, hey, maybe China is emptying out their prisons, or maybe Cuba is sending people, maybe Haiti is sending. wouldn't you be concerned? Why are y'all just dismissing this like your children don't have to live here? It's insane. Sometimes I feel like I'm in clown world because they're getting mad at somebody bringing you. It's like me, KJ, saying to you, because I love you, oh, be careful your son walking home because there's a lot of drunk people driving on the street. No, there's not. No, there's not. If you love your son,
it would actually be like me saying to you, "Oh, what's your issue with drug people?"
Exactly. Or if you love your son, you don't care if it's false. You want to find out if it's false before you just start dismissing it. Because, and that's what I'm saying. If they cared about us, why are you guys oh, he just said that there's prisons being empty. Like, that's a legitimate. Why wouldn't you empty your prisons? Why would you not empty your prisons if you knew that there was a state over there that was a masochistic mess, and you wanted to send your problems there? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I want to show you guys. So after this weekend, of course, the Biden administration jumped on it and has now put out an ad talking about Donald Trump in this bloodbath comment. Take a look here.
The both sides. They got to.
If I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's going to be a bloodbath for the country. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Are you willing to condemn white supremacists?
See how they take everything out of context?
Stand back and
Stand by. He said what he said.
For the horribly and unfairly treated January 6th hostages.
Period.
There'll be a lot of pardons and commutations of January 6th defendants.
Yes, absolutely.
You tell your supporters now, no matter what, no violence.
And it's going to be a bloodbath.
You guys, I hate this with a passion. Like, I hate them.
Yeah.
And you know who I'm
No,
really...
if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's going to be a bloodbath for the country.
No, I'm really starting to dislike ignorant people that are just like, why are they allowed to? Like Giovanni, one of our commenters, like, why, like, where are the truth lovers? Where are the churchgoers? Where are the people with good sense? Like, have you guys just like lost your mind somewhere?
No, what it is that
out of context.
What it is that, again, like you said earlier, it's about values. Now, granted, everybody, whatever side you're on, everybody has values. It just depends on what values, number one, and number two, if you are willing to be courageous and act on them or live them out or speak about them, whatever the case may be. I don't know, a lot of people they're not that courageous. They're not. There's a cost to being courageous.
Yeah, it's true.
There certainly is.
And there's a cost to being cowardly, just so you know.
Absolutely.
There are a few people that God said that we're going to be in the lake of fire, and one of the first that he listed are the cowards. Yeah. And that's a fact.
Absolutely.
Well, with anything, with truth, with honor, with integrity, before all of that, the first thing you need is courage.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's hard to tell the truth. Sometimes it's hard to be a person of integrity. You know, sometimes it's hard to be an honorable person, especially as we being in the world and it becomes more wicked and more deceitful. You know, it is hard. There's a lot of pressure. But if you have courage, that's the first thing you need in order to step out and do these things. Yeah. And right now we're seeing a society, we're seeing our leadership, our elected officials, I should say not leaders, our elected officials who lack virtue, who lack the courage of their convictions because they have none. Yeah. And now we are left with this sullied people in power. Yeah. And they are really dragging our country down to the depths of hell. And so
I call them wusses and pusses. That's what I call them.
Yeah, and it's so sad. Like it's so sad. It's just a freaking popular. You want to be invited to the next ball, or you don't want anybody look at you funny, or you like you guys. Your children are going to die. Like our children are overweight. Our children are dumb. Our families are falling apart. Like everything is happening, and you're sitting up here worried about the Joneses not inviting you to a party because you're a Trump supporter. You're a Trump supporter. It's just so stupid. Like, have we gotten that stupid? That's why I said I hate these people, these media machines. I hate them, but I'm really starting to dislike the stupid people that are just ignoring their own, like you said, and ignoring their own convictions, knowing good and well that man would never say a blood. Like, why would he say that, y'all?
Because they mixing the lie with January 6th. They're trying to make him out to be that he's revving up to start another J6. That's what they're trying to do. Again, fear, demagoguery, all of these things have been working for a long time on the left in the Democrat Party. And look, from the KKK, look, they're the ones who invented that. These things work for them, so they need to keep it up. And of course, if you ain't black, you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Fear. It's fear.
Right, exactly. It is fear. And that's another thing that we're supposed to push against. Fear, because a lot of times to overcome fear, you need knowledge and knowledge of the facts. And that's what we're here to do. And again, we always say here at Poppin' Politics, our mantra for 2024 is to be aware and prepare. And right now, we're not about trying to change people's minds anymore, people's hearts. We are about alerting the lions. We are about alerting our community, our people, of what's going on. And now we have to prepare for it because they are outright lying. They are outright trying to destroy whatever America is left from our automobiles to just the fabric of the people here. You know, right here in Baltimore, Maryland, where we are from, we had a gang of Chilean illegals. They mapped out, they went to high affluent areas here in Maryland. They mapped out the neighborhoods and they were robbing the homes of these areas. Chilean illegals. They were illegal. Right here in Maryland.
Illegal.
So what he's saying is not incorrect.
It's not. But why would he just make that up? People, why would you make that? Like, people are so stupid, and that the TDS, the Trump deranged syndrome, is so stupid that y'all have reduced him to y'all stupid asses. Y'all have reduced him to what you would do. This is a billionaire. You think that he ain't got better things to do? You don't think his kids got no? I hear people saying the stupidest stuff. You know he's not rich. Oh, really? Says the sign on that. Says his Mar-a-Lago compound. Says the sign on the Trump Towers. Oh, you know he doesn't have. Like, we've reduced him to our stupidity that he would have nothing better to do but to warn your broke selves that your children won't have anywhere to go while his will be on a jet somewhere. Y'all
Not only that, Crystal, but look what he came into office, millionaire, billionaire. Now he's lost money. When you have on the opposite side, Obama, Biden, Biden has spent, he and his family have spent their whole lives in public office and have become millionaires out of it. That tells you right there who's wrong and who's right.
And look, for those who continue, I guess I would say, I don't know who they are. I'm gonna say mostly black people, but maybe not all black people, of course. They continue to say, oh, he's racist and he don't want to. Name me one thing that he has done to black people that was racist or I don't even know what other word to use. Name me one, even if it didn't happen to you. Just name me one thing, because whether or not you like him, even if you think he's a racist, even if you don't like him, when President Trump was in office, overall your life was better. You had more money in your paycheck.
Well, let's debunk it here. The number one thing that they said that he was racist is he had a lawsuit in New York City in the 80s or the 70s for him and his father not wanting to rent to Black people.
Right.
What was happening in the 70s and 80s? The crack epidemic.
The
drugs. And I can
drugs.
tell you, a lot of Black landlords wasn't renting to Black people because the community, like if you are a business owner, you have to look at risk. And so if you have a community that's being riled, let's say even with right now, with when you see like, Hispanics, and maybe Hispanics are going through disease or something, and maybe it's not that person with the disease, but that community is being riddled. You have to think about, okay, and weigh the cost. And so they use that to say that he's racist. The second issue that they say that he's racist is the whole Central Park 5. Everybody knows what happens to Central Park 5. I don't know if you guys knew, but Trump was not a police officer. He was not an investigative reporter. He wasn't anything. And those 5 boys, as sad as that situation was, they admitted to the crime. I'm sorry that they did, but they said that they did it, whether it was coerced,
or not, right? Because they've since been gotten off or whatever.
They've been exonerated. But
right, exonerated.
But Donald Trump in that community, he is not an investigator. He doesn't work. The police officer said that these young boys committed the crime. And if you had heard how heinous that crime was, you would have said the same thing. Like they need to go to jail for the rest of their life. They need to get the death penalty. I don't necessarily agree with that with children, but if you're thinking about your community and that heinous crime, he said that. Okay, fine. Those 2 things were not things that he directly did. He did not arrest those children. He didn't coerce them into lying on themselves. He didn't do those things. And those are the 2 things that people point to and say, oh, look, he's racist. And I just think that that's so stupid because there are so many other things that Joe Biden has done directly to Black people.
Like locking them up, putting them in jail, advocating for them to go to jail. He doesn't want his family living in Black communities or whatever he called them. So, I mean, of course, if you don't vote for him, you ain't Black, and they're going to take us back and change things, right? But again, these people
Kamala Harris,
so...
remember what she did?
Yeah,
they overlook
exactly.
all of it.
These people
they
overlook fear. They run on fear.
Yeah, they run on fear. They overlook it all. As you just mentioned, and not only that, but the same people that are grifting on racial bias and racism and things like that, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Oprah Winfrey, all of them, they were licking that man's boots back in the 80s and 90s, and they were taking his money. They had him on their shows. They had him in their business circles and things like that. Jesse Jackson was praising him for opening up an area on in Wall Street for him and his associates to start entrepreneurial things. So I mean, it makes no sense.
Look, don't even get me started.
He didn't become a racist until he became a Republican.
Don't even get me started with Nene Leakes. You remember when she was talking to your girl, talking about, I came back from getting that Trump check.
Yeah. I mean, it's you can go on and on. You can go on and on with this stuff. People are just stupid. And if you believe it, then you like to be used. You like to be used. You like to be taken for a ride. So you just like Fanny.
Well, and you don't like yourself, you don't like your children, because you would rather cut off your nose to spite your face. Meaning, like, this man is trying to help you. You don't have to like him, fool. You don't have to like him, dum-dum. You don't have to like him. You don't have to go to bed with him. You don't have to sleep with him. You don't have to make a baby with him. All you need to know is that you are on the American team and you're on the American side, and this person is blocking for America, and you need to get on board.
Yeah, and I want to acknowledge some of our super chatters tonight. Thank you so much, guys. I want to acknowledge Gail. She says, "Preaching, ladies." Thank you so much, Gail. And we have Cynthia. Hey, Cynthia, thanks for coming back. She says, I've seen every rally Trump has ever done, and I can predict every time which clip they'll use in the fake news. Twist his words. He is not a racist. And yes, TDS is real. Absolutely, Cynthia.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. And honestly, oh, go ahead.
And Lavelle, he says, I'm in the automotive industry, and what Trump is saying is absolutely right.
Yep.
Wow. All right, Lavelle. Thank you so much for watching.
And we get caught up with these stupid things like, oh, Trump's a racist, oh, misogynist. Like you know, you guys, that don't have nothing to do with anything. Like,
even if he was a racist, I wouldn't care.
If he was a racist, like, first of all, it's his God-given right to decide that he thinks that racist just means that you think that your race is superior. I know a lot of black racists, y'all. I know Dr. Umar Johnson. He actually says that black folks have a superior gene.
You know what? Most people, I mean, just as a human condition, most people have that, if you want to call it that gene. I would not care. I've said before, I could live next door to a KKK member. As long as I can get in my house, in my land, and he can stay on his land, we're fine. We're fine.
And we love, you guys in the, like, we love people that are unapologetically white here.
Yeah. I do want to acknowledge another super chatter. Woke Vaccine says, please make a reel of these out of context bits so we can red pill people. I'm serious. It would work. We will. And speaking of that, we need to set the record straight. I want to show a clip of the original press conference Trump did about Charlottesville. And this Charlottesville speech, again, we just played Biden's reel that he put out, totally took everything Trump has ever said out of context. Take a look here. This is, let me just see here. This is his original speech, and I hope I have it correct.
We're going to get them free tonight. We're going to get honest tonight, you guys. We're going to get honest.
Yeah. All right, here we are.
You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Neo-Nazis started this. They showed up in Charlottesville. They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me. They didn't put themselves down as you, and you had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me. I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
Robert E. Lee are not the same.
George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down?
He's talking about them wanting to take down.
Are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good.
Slave owner.
Statue, because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue.
I love
that's what they want.
It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis or nationalists, because they should be condemned.
I love that man, y'all.
What was that? 16, 2017?
Okay.
Or 15.
And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group also, you had some fine people. You also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits and with the helmets.
He's talking about Antifa.
Bats.
Yep,
exactly.
You had a lot of bad people in the other group.
So here we go.
And he crazy because I would have said there were very fine people that wanted to keep the statue up.
But he was very.
He did say that on both sides.
I wouldn't have said both sides.
Out of everything Trump has ever, this was a very diplomatic response.
Yes,
and he was detailed. He actually talked about the neo-Nazis. He said everyone except the neo-Nazis. He also mentioned Antifa dressed up in black on the other side. He mentioned the statues. Where is this in the media outrage?
It's not.
They don't. They've been lying. They've been lying.
And one
They've
of the
been lying. And Antifa was in Washington State and Oregon, tearing up the country in that state.
You remember
media
they
said
set up their
nothing.
own place. You remember it was Chad?
Exactly. Media said nothing about that. The officer, the retired security officer that they killed during those riots, they said nothing like that. There were people on both sides. You could agree with one side or the other, but everybody in Charlottesville, I said Charlottesburg earlier, but Charlottesville, everybody that came there, they did not come to destroy and tear down. They came to protest on whatever side they were on, which you are allowed to do in America.
Yeah, exactly. But and that's why you said it was diplomatic, because I would not have said those Black Lives Matter people were good people, and he still said that they were good people. I would not have said it. And in one of the clips, I thought it was so funny. He was like, "Y'all want to take down the statues and replace it with what? The Reverend Al Sharpton." You remember he said, like, what do y'all want? Who belongs there? If Thomas Jefferson doesn't belong there, who you want there?
I don't know.
George
I
Floyd,
don't even know.
George Floyd. Exactly.
And Michael Brown,
exactly.
Trayvon Martin. They want
Breonna Taylor, the drug dealer.
That's who they want. That's who they want.
But that was a very diplomatic speech. It was. And and Trump has been lambasted for that speech. And I mean, for year after year after year, this is what they use. This is what they use until they got January 6th.
And then they starting to use it again, like just when you show the commercial, I'm like, and you guys allowing this? I mean, after all this information out here, like y'all are allowing these people to manipulate you. I told you, I can't even talk to somebody that says people died on January 6th. Cops were bludgeoned to death on January. I can't even talk to you. I can't have a conversation with you. You are immediate. You're a robot. Your brain is being controlled, and I cannot talk to you.
Dude, you can't. Yep. And the thing about it is, if people actually look at this from a rational mindset, this election is shaping up to be all about what we said as far as the right was going to happen and how it did.
Yeah.
You know, this is what it's all about. I mean, I don't understand how any rational minded person can look at the COVID pandemic lockdowns, can look at what's going on with the economy, can look at how, you know, I go back to COVID, how they told us people couldn't even go see their family members when they died. You couldn't even be at a funeral and hug each other and just, you know, care for one another in your grieving and in your bereavement. I mean, the list, how they tore up education, closed the schools. Yeah. And now we're seeing so much learning loss from these kids who lost so much during the lockdown. All they did was wrong. You have in New York, she's now calling out the National Guard because crime has gotten so out of control. Do you remember when somebody tried to call the National Guard in DC or somewhere it was?
Yes. The same people. I think that was during the Black Lives Matter riots down there. The same people who said that calling in the military, we're bringing in the military state, we're bringing in the military state. Now they're doing it because of that same policies. Again, these progressive policies that pulverize people everywhere they are implemented. And then they bring in these controls to look like they are doing something. No, it's really about tyranny. First, they want to destroy us. They want to destroy our communities, death and destruction everywhere. And then they want to be the heroes that, they're bringing in the fix. Well, no, these policies that they have will always destroy. And it's up to us to take back our rights, we the people. This is our country. They work for us. When are we going to learn that? When are we going to understand that?
Yeah, and you don't need the National Guard and this Trump has repeatedly said this, when you allow the police to do their job. But you sit up there, you have completely emasculated the police officers. You've given them no type of support. You've literally defunded them. Like they have defunded the police.
No, now they've made them enemies of the state.
Exactly. And now you're sitting up here asking the National Guard, like we can't think of another better thing to do with the National Guard, like the border, which I don't really agree that they should be there either, because they shouldn't be coming. But you can't think of anything else that the National Guard can do besides police people from jumping the daggone turnstile. Y'all are idiots.
You know what it is? Just like they defunded the police, they really have emasculated the police, and they are really emasculating these National Guard, because Kathy Hochul, they can't even carry guns or their weapons. What the hell? I know. I mean, what's the point? What is the point? Yeah. What is the point to have someone in the military on duty without their weapons and protection? What is the damn point?
It's just a show. I actually follow this leftist podcaster, but she even said, she said when you go to the when you go in the train station, half of them be on their phones. She said they be on their phones, not paying nobody attention.
But let's cut the chat. I want to acknowledge some of our super chatters tonight. We have some additional super chatters. So we have here, let's see here who we have. We have woke vaccine. He says, please. Oh, we talked about woke vaccine. Oh, yeah. Okay. Allie, 7 Dito says MSM has never once talked about all the great things Trump has done for Black, white, and Hispanic people.
True.
He gave financial help to strangers.
Yes,
right.
They're not going to.
Right, Allie, thanks for commenting. Thanks for your super chat.
And it's and I'm telling you, for him, I God bless that man, because honestly, I don't even know why he's fighting. Y'all know he don't have to fight. I laugh at people that literally, oh, well, he's not as rich as he is. Oh, when's the last time you've been on a private jet?
Right. He got more money than me.
Oh, he's not, he really doesn't have any money. Oh, yeah, because it's all in trust with his children. Y'all sound so stupid. And it literally is just telling how small-minded we are, that he has everything to lose for us. He has everything to lose.
Look, I've been saying since last year, when he decided to run, that it's going to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to be revved up. This bloodbath incident or whatever, this speech is only the beginning. It's going to get revved up. Oh, come summer, before November, it's going to get revved up, and people just better be on guard, be aware and prepare, because I believe they are not going to they want this man dead. They really want him dead.
Well, again,
we can't care. We can't care, you guys. We can't care. That's what, honestly, KJ, that's why I did this shirt. If you gotta block me, go right ahead, baby. If it helps you sleep at night, but I'm going to scream the truth louder than you can scream the lies. That's what Candace Owens says. I'm going to scream the truth louder than you can scream the lies. You got to
and boldly, like you mentioned, boldly. And listen, you do not have to believe us. The data is there. As we just played, the videos that are there. This is one thing about the great thing about everything being social digital media. And things like social media. You can find this stuff, the data with the CDC, where clearly you can see red states that refused massive shutdowns and excessive regulations didn't see any worse health outcomes than the ones who shut everything down. I mean, you can see all of this. You can see the learning loss data within the education system with COVID. You can see how the crime rate skyrocketed with us and didn't in other parts of the world. All of this is here to see.
Yeah, and with your boy, KJ's a DeSantis girl, but even with him, he opened up the whole state, and they have an older population, and they didn't have more deaths. They have the most vulnerable population, and they didn't have more deaths. That's why that pandemic, you guys, I mean, it just wasn't what it's. I'm sorry, it's fake. I said it.
We do have to move on, because I want to get to the Elon Musk interview with Don Lemon. Another thing. I mean, this is
what you call him, Shelly? What you call him?
Donna. Donna.
Yeah. I want to get to this because we got to get through this. So, as I mentioned, Don Lemon interviewed Elon Musk recently. I'm not sure if you guys saw the trailer for this, but he's been talking about it a lot. He released a contentious interview with Elon Musk that he alleged led the billionaire to cancel Lemon's deal with X. So apparently, Don Lemon, sort of like Tucker Carlson, had a show, I guess, that was set to premiere on X, formerly known as Twitter. Musk and Lemon discussed the Tesla CEO and X owner's drug use, his thoughts on content moderation, and his plans for X. Before cutting to the pre-recorded interview, Lemon opened the first episode of the Don Lemon Show by saying the conversation had no ground rules. So I want to play a clip here of this interview. I mean, Don Lemon is just so annoying.
He's so
because he's a bitch.
He's so gay. Hold on, how Kevin Hart said, "Hey, that's gay." That is him. Like, he's so gay, y'all.
Yeah, he's so annoying. And so I want you guys to take a look. I think I have this. This is just like a clip of it.
We're putting our thumb on the scale. We're being censors.
1 second.
It's like he hasn't learned nothing. You would think that
you're putting your thumb on the scale for moderating hate speech. I mean, you don't put out child pornography. That's not, it's illegal. People would say that's considered censorship. I'm just saying.
No, I literally, Don, you know, he said, if something is legal, okay, we will obviously remove it.
Okay.
But if it is not legal, the laws in this country are put forward by the citizens. We're a democracy. If those laws are put in place by the people, we adhere to those laws.
Okay, I agree.
The laws of others. If you go beyond the law, you're actually going beyond the will of the people.
Okay, agreed with the law. But if you are doing something that promotes hate and violence and ultimately leads to killing, you don't feel you have any responsibility not to do that? When the people who are doing it admittedly are saying
there's articles all the time that lead to violence and killing. Don't they? Shouldn't they? It's like you're applying a differential standard to.
That would never be in mainstream media. These types of images, that type of language, those things would never be. We'd never. When I was in mainstream media, we'd never promote things that would be anti-Semitic. We would never promote things that would
either.
No, he doesn't.
Did you not see those?
You said promote. If content is on
exactly the word promote there. It's a difference.
That wouldn't be on a platform for mainstream media at all.
No, but you can think of that. That's because the mainstream media has like whatever 20 articles a day. We have 500 million posts today.
Okay, understood.
Million.
Does it bother you?
No, I don't rank.
You bother me, and you bother him.
So you not no.
I want to just talk about what we just saw.
Imagine,
this man is a moron. Don Lemon is a sour lemon. It's nothing sweet there. It's nothing.
Oh, he's sweet. He's sweet.
He's sour, moldy lemon.
Imagine being the richest man in the entire world, and you're getting a lecture from this
moron. Exactly. And he said the media would never do that. Look, he said the media would never do that. The media plays violent stuff on loops all day long.
You mean the media that fired you, dumb?
They play loops all day long when that stuff comes out.
The media that fired you, dum dum, like you got tanked by the media, and he's like, I graciously invited you to my platform to help revive your career. Negro, I don't need you. I am the richest man in the world. I'm trying to help you, and you coming to me, talking to me about hate speech.
What's the phrase?
He wanted to give him the finger so bad.
What's the phrase? No good deed goes unpunished.
No good deed. I'm sure Elon felt like there was something about this, concept or whatever that people may want to see. It may not be something that he was interested in, but this just goes to the idea that he's just here for free speech. But I mean, I think it cut off the beginning. Elon kept saying, I'm not censoring, if it's legal I'm going to let it play on the website.
Well,
On platform. And then he brings up child pornography. What an idiot. What an idiot.
That's the thing. Remember, the left is tyrannical. They don't want anything to be legal that they don't like or agree with. Even if it is, if they just don't like it, it's not in their ideology. They want it censored. They want it cut off. It doesn't matter. This is their ideology. This is their model. They don't want our Constitution, our First Amendment, right here. And see, long ago, I underlined all the important words right here. They don't want that in play. And he's part of the media. He should be living by this First Amendment.
Well, he got canned by the media. I just think it was just so ironic that you were sitting in front of somebody who gave you an opportunity. Y'all don't like when I say it, but that's why you can't trust the blacks. I'm serious. I think white folks are really trying with the blacks. They really trying. You know, they let Don Lemon or Donita come on here, let his voice be heard, and you look at me on a platform where I gave you an opportunity to tell me about 3 or 4 posts. Like, he even came out with the post. Here's the posts that are hateful. Like, dude, like it's like you said, Shelly, no good deed goes unpunished. And I'm sitting here and I'm feeling so sad for Elon because he's a billionaire. Like, he's like, I don't have to talk to you. You're nothing. Right. I'm giving you an opportunity, and this is how you repay me. Screw you.
Yeah, I want to keep it going here. Let's keep looking here. He goes on now. He's talking about, I think, Elon's past drug abuse, I guess. Let me see.
No smoke, no nothing. I mean, you smoke pot with Rogan.
I had 1 puff.
Yeah.
I think anyone who smokes pot can tell I don't know how to smoke pot.
But you've admitted that you have a ketamine prescription.
Yeah.
What's that for?
Well, I mean, it's pretty private to ask somebody about a prescription, you know. But I think it's something I'd say, like, there are times when I have sort of I don't know, like a negative chemical state in my brain. Like depression, I guess, you know, is
okay. I understand that, but that's a hypothetical. That doesn't mean it's happening.
I didn't say it's happening.
Washed up reporter.
You didn't say it was happening.
So I said it will. But I said if we lower standards, people will die.
But why respond to something or put something out there that has not happened? Because I could say,
because it's called thinking, critical thinking, being able to compare situations. Do you want people to actually die? Actually to think about it?
If you look at the Tuskegee experiment and on, only 5% of doctors in America are black. All of them are white. So are you saying that if the majority of doctors are white, are you saying that and there are still these inequities, right? And there's still mistakes. Are you blaming DEI for that?
No, I'm very basically saying that if we lower standards for what it takes to become a board-certified surgeon, or you know, an oncologist or something where the kind of disease we're talking about, if you make a mistake, causes someone to die, then more people will die than if we don't lower the standards.
Right. Clear. That was clear.
They're lowering the standards for minority doctors or women doctors.
Listen.
Oh gosh.
They just put out this week that they had lowered the standards to enter I think it was the National Guard or the police force.
The military in general, yes.
They lowered the standards. What do you think is going to happen when you lower the standards for any job? You're not getting the best of the best. It's simple.
We've lowered standards for K through 12 for decades, and look where we have. You got the airlines talking about lowering standards to get this this DEI balance, more women, whatever. Fine. If a woman is capable and qualified to be a pilot, fine. But she should not be there just based on her skin color, just to fill a quota. Because guess what? We're going to have a whole lot of dead people with planes just dropping out of the damn sky.
Well, that's what he said, and that's what Don Lemon was calling him on, because he said that about the doctors.
Donita was on a mission. Donita is just like Chris Cuomo, KJ. I will give you your flowers, my love. You were right about Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo is trying to get his job back at CNN, and Don Lemon, the same thing. And I think Elon Musk smelled it. Like he was asking him CNN type like questions as opposed to having a grown man conversation. And I felt like Elon Musk held his own. He was like, I said what he said. Like, why do they not understand that this man is the richest man in the world? He doesn't have anything to prove to you, you broke, washed up.
But the thing is that, Crystal, Elon was going to give him a platform to say whatever the hell he wanted.
Exactly.
So I don't understand.
But he had to be respectful. And that's what I'm saying. They don't understand that you got canned by the same people that you're trying to somehow impress or trying to follow that model. And that model doesn't work. And honestly, if he had a serious, respectful conversation with Elon Musk would have sang his praises. Yeah. If it was like, I'm a grown man. Don't be asking me stupid stuff like, why am I not censoring people's hate?
You know about the medication that he takes and stuff.
You know what he really wants? What he really wants is for Trump to be banned again. Mm-hmm. They really want Trump off of Twitter or X again. That's what they really want.
Social media. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trump doesn't really post on Twitter. You know, he's got his true.
But he's allowed to. He's allowed to. He's back. But they don't want that. They really want Trump off a banned again.
Well, they want to ban conservatives. And the fact of the matter is conservative speech is considered hateful. The fact that I tell you that there's two genders, the fact that I don't care if you try to do whatever, you cannot change your X chromosome into a Y, and you cannot change your Y into an X. Like, that's all hate speech, and they honestly want to get rid of it. But I love how confident that Elon Musk, like, he's talking to somebody who's nothing. You're not Donita, Lamont. You're nothing but an unemployed, broke back mountain.
He came on here looking like the alter ego. Alter ego.
You look like you aged like 10 years already, sir. Your white husband clearly is not making you happy, and you somehow caping up for CNN. I'm sorry, sir. X is giving you a platform. You better appreciate it before you end up trying to beg Truth Social.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad. The whole thing, he doesn't look well. Somebody said he looked like Urkel. I think he looks like Stefan Urkel.
He looked like what they used to tell us, them people that had the monster head look like. I'm not gonna say what the monster is. Use your own imagination.
Wait a minute, say it again.
You never heard. You know the men that were homosexual that had the monster.
You're terrible.
I'm just saying. That's what he looked like. He lost a little bit of weight. Cheekbones have gotten a little sunken in.
Yeah.
Time has not been on your side.
You mean like Terry Crews in White Chicks?
I'm telling you that men that have his lifestyle, and I'm just back in the day, they used to say that men that had his lifestyle ended up in a certain predicament.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is it. I mean, I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case. But
who knows?
Something's wrong with them. Something is wrong. So
the comments are too bad. I didn't say it. Y'all said it. I didn't say it.
I was thinking something else, but okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, she's terrible. I remember when they used to call it that monster.
That's that monster.
All right. So there we have it. And again, in the irony of this is today, the mainstream media have lost their minds with the whole Trump rally on Saturday. And he's trying to blame and shame Elon Musk for siding on the side of anti-censorship with Twitter or X, when the mainstream media has been on a lying spree all day long. They have taken Trump's comments out of context, failed to show the full range of what he said, and now he's trying to say Elon Musk is wrong for not censoring on Twitter.
Right.
Exactly. And Elon Musk,
it's just like slavery, like mental slavery. Basically, Elon Musk is representing freedom, saying, Don, this is your platform to be free speech. And he's saying, no, I want you to muzzle my mouth.
Yeah.
It's just, and Elon Musk was really like y'all noticed for the first 30 minutes, it was all, giggling and like, okay, let's see where this is going. And then he started to chastise the richest man in the world, and then start to tell him about hiring practices and he starts to say things like, don't you feel like diversity, equity, inclusion actually makes more money? Who you think would know a thing or two about making money? Not you, Donita.
Right.
Not you, Donita. Like, don't you think that the person you talking to, you better put some respect on my name? That's what Elon said. You better put some respect on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, DEI, you talk about, we just had someone here in Maryland. I think she was a DEI a leader or administrator in the College Park area here in Maryland. You went through her Twitter thread, and she was talking about all this terrible stuff about white people. And do you recall that story?
Yeah, she's talking about burning things down and being violent and things like that. I forget her name off the top of my head, but this is what these people do. Again, destruction, right? So let me. Are you going to play a clip from her, KJ? Is that what you're doing?
No, I don't have it.
Okay.
I
want to have a little caveat here, because I want to make something clear, and it's going to be sort of a mea culpa. A couple of weeks ago, I used the B word on the show, right? And I used it several times. I know. I'm saying the B word right now. When I said it, in no way, shape, or form was I advocating violence. I was saying something inartfully. I was trying to say how sometimes I just had these feelings, and I want feelings of expression. So it was very inartful and untactful the way I said it, right? I was not advocating violence, and I even said that at the time. This wench here is actually calling for people to be violent and tear down whatever structures, tear down communities, telling people to tear up their own, let alone someone else's, where you live, the businesses, things like that, all in the sake of, quote unquote, building it back up under this, this whatever, tear down the oppression model and build up something for Black and poor people or whatever. What are you going to have if you burn it all down?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. I can't find it here.
But they ain't got nothing, and that's been the trick of the left, to make Black people. Well, I'm not Black, but for the African Americans that identify as Black, to make them feel like they don't own a part of this country. But the sad thing about it is they have nowhere else to go. Blacks, y'all have nowhere else to go. So if y'all don't own a part of America, good freaking luck, because let me tell you something. You try to go over to the motherland, Nigeria, and y'all try to own something, forget about it.
I found it here. She was Maryland City's racial equity officer, Kayla Elise Carter, who designs College Park, Maryland's racial equity plan. So DEI. She posted in 2020, "Today, I co-hosted an occupied space with dozens of people who have committed their lives, businesses, and money to Black liberation. And on all days, every day, each day," the official noted, "already been planning for how we will eat and live and grow after we burn it all down." That's what she said. This is your DEI leaders.
But they talk about Trump saying bloodbath for the auto.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Tell me again, where Black people are not free, at least in America, where are they not free?
I'm free. Let me tell you something.
In their minds, in their own minds, in their own delusion.
Yeah, and it's so sad because you get these people who are utter like incompetent. And I love you guys, I love to root for the sister girl. But when you're talking like you want to burn things down, like you didn't build anything, you didn't grow anything, like you didn't do anything, and you want to burn something that, like, how did the freaking audacity? Even the white man had to give you your job, which is called the DIE, DIE. That's what y'all are. Everything that these people touch is utterly dead.
Yeah, but this is what he's shaming Elon Musk. Don Lemon is shaming Elon Musk for people like this. In the wake of George Floyd's murder, Carter, this is the DEI consultant, attempted to rationalize opposition to violence. She says, and I quote, "Do y'all understand why the oppressed are constantly shamed out of using violence? Because the oppressor wants to be the sole proprietor of violence. They don't want to deal with back talk. Do as I say, not as I do. Face ass."
Y'all ain't
Oh,
gonna violate nothing. Y'all ain't going. The only violence y'all gonna have is toward other black people. Y'all ain't gonna bring that to this, like Jason Aldean. Try that in a small town. Y'all ain't gonna bring that. Y'all ain't gonna bring that foolishness to them folks where they strapped up. Y'all only going to hurt your own. Y'all only going to burn down your own. You're only going to use your own. You're only going to disappropriate funds in your own communities. You're not going to try that in a small town. That's just the truth.
That's their model. That is their playbook. We're talking about playbook. That's their playbook. Destroy your own, blame it on the white man or the oppressor, get rid of all the police because you're talking about they are coming after black men. No, they're not. They're coming after black men, all right, but they coming in with the coroner to take your ass out on a body bag. That's what they largely doing.
You're right. You're right, Shelly. You're right.
Well, we've talked about that. I just want to say thank you guys for watching tonight. Ladies, any final thoughts before we go? We do, we've been on here for an hour or so, but I mean, goodness gracious, it's a lot to talk about. I mean, we gotta get the truth out. We do.
Don't be afraid to defend truth. Don't let somebody call you a Trump supporter. First of all, I'm a diehard Trump supporter, but don't be afraid for somebody to call you that. Like, honestly, you guys, let them block you. Let them not invite you. You will find a community of people that got good sense. I'm telling you, and your future and your children's future depends on it. Don't be so insecure that you're looking for some kind of friendship in people who don't share your values. It's okay to block me. It's okay to block me. Let them off the hook.
Shelly, any final thoughts tonight?
I'm gonna repeat what I've been saying recently, and I'm repeating these things because the left repeats the same stuff over and over again, and people believe it. And there's a saying I learned in college that repetition is the mother of pedagogy. It can work both ways. You repeat something over and over again, people will come to believe it. So I'm going to repeat this. Number one, our country, we have a country to save. We are really at a war.
Yeah.
Get prepared, be aware, get your information, verify the facts, whomever, fact check us. I don't care, whatever, right? But be aware, be prepared, and strap up.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm just going to kind of piggyback off of what you ladies said. I agree. Be aware and prepare. That's our motto, our mantra for 2024. Guys, I mean, as Crystal kind of said, it's not about trying to fit in with the masses. There is a remnant. We are the remnant. There are not many of us, but we love America. These people on the opposite side hate America. Yeah. I'll say they hate America for what it is, and they want to change it. They believe in order to change it, they must destroy it from within. Exactly. They must tear it down and rebuild something that will look nothing like what we know America to be. Yeah. And so me as a American, as a Black woman, as a Christian woman, a believer, I don't want to see that. And I know you guys within our community don't want to see that. So we need to speak up, speak out, stand up for truth, and push back against it. That's the only thing we can do. And we appreciate you guys supporting us here on this podcast. Again, as I always say, we are not just a podcast. We are a movement. We are a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that understand there's a target on our backs. We are the remnant. You all are the remnant. There's a target on our backs because we love freedom. And yet we still stand for it. And we need to stand together. So if you haven't subscribed, we certainly appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell that lets you know every time we go live. We're generally on here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So definitely check us out, 8 p.m. Eastern time. But if you hit the notification bell, you'll know when we pop on like this. So you can check us out when we pop up on other nights outside of Wednesdays. But we certainly appreciate the company, and we thank you so much for listening and watching with us. Until next time.
Hold on, KJ.
Oh, yes.
We have two more super chatters that came in.
Yay!
Mitchell and Mitchell Williams. He says, "Good evening, ladies." He's asking, can he join us on a podcast one day?
Oh, yeah. Come on, Mitchell. We always looking for
Kofi 19. Thank you, guys, or ladies and guys. Both Donna.
Don't talk about Rachel. Don't talk about Rachel
and Rachel Dolezal.
That's my girl.
They should do a podcast called "The Black is White People in the Room." That's
Rachel Dolezal is actually really cool. Like did y'all ever see her Netflix special?
No,
but I ain't mad at Rachel.
I ain't mad at her. That's my girl.
They're mentally unwell. They're mentally unwell.
Stop talking about her, KJ. She just identifies with Black people.
Whatever.
Better than us. We don't identify with Black people.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna go that far. It's just all this identifying. Just be who you're gonna be, and you don't have to, identify and tell everybody what you are. We can see.
I love her.
We can see she was a white woman. If you're a man dressed in women's clothing, we can see you are a man.
I love
it's just like whatever. All right, that's it for tonight. Until next time, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Good night.
See ya.